we appreciate this opportunity to present you a special training information, a lot to learn from different level of opportunity. And we would like to introduce our president.
Sure, Lynn. Before we introduce our president, let's just speak a little bit about CACP to start off.
Okay.
The Chinese American Construction Professionals, known as CACP, is a 501c nonprofit organization. As one of the premier professional organizations for the construction and building industry here in Southern California, we are composed of many exceptional licensed contractors, architects, and engineers. In addition, our membership consists of material suppliers, developers, real estate attorneys, and CPAs, along with financial institutions and other design and construction related trade professionals. The organization's mission centers around enhancing our members' competitiveness, not only in the local market, but in the global market as well. Also, we aim to serve the community and building construction industry and facilitate professional and business networking opportunities that will nurture the future design and construction professionals. CACP provides workshops and educational seminars to our members, our affiliates, as well as the general public in order to assist them in developing the skills and qualifications necessary to enhance their technical abilities and their capacity to better compete not only for business opportunities within the local market, but also for procurement opportunities with governmental agencies and public utilities companies. At the same time, CACP strives to promote qualified and certified diverse business enterprises to participate with these governmental agencies and public utility companies, such as a few who have joined us here today, SoCalGas and SCE. CACP is a proud participant in the procurement process and is proud to assist these organizations in achieving their DBE procurement spending goals. During the past few years, SoCalGas and SCE have spent more than 40% of the procurement dollars in diverse business enterprises. We thank SoCalGas and SCE for their commitments to working with small, women, minority, service disabled, and LGBTQ enterprises. CACP is honored to have partnered with both SoCalGas and SCE to assist them in reaching their supplier diversity goals. Today, you'll actually hear from a few CACP members who have some stories and experiences they would like to share in working with these agencies and utility companies, as well as how it may be beneficial to you. Again, we'd like to thank SoCalGas and SCE for sponsoring today's conference. And we'd like to thank all of our speakers today for fitting this conference into their busy schedules, and you as well for being able to attend and be here with us today. Now, at this moment, I would like to bring up CACP President-elect Wei-An Liu for his opening remarks. Wei-An is a licensed structural engineer who holds a doctorate degree in civil engineering. He's currently a project manager at HSA Associates, as well as a professor of engineering at Cal Poly Pomona. He's worked on numerous projects throughout the past few years, including on Amazon distribution centers throughout the nation. It's my pleasure once again to introduce President-elect Wei-An Liu.
Thank you, Dan. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here during our conference held by CACP. First of all, I would like to thank our sponsors, SCE and SoCalGas. Thank you so much for your sponsorship and support. Looking forward to more collaboration in the future. And also, second of all, we will thank our speakers. Thank you for your time being here to share the knowledge with our audience and also, share the experience. Thank you so much for your time and the effort to make this happen. Lastly, hope everyone enjoyed the conference, and then hopefully you learn a lot from our CACP conference. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Wei-An. And with that, we'll move to introductions of our speakers today by our very own Lynn Chen.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Wayne Gross. Wayne is a a procurement division, small business outreach liaison. I know him through many different meetings and learning all this, doing business with state of California and about Department of General Service opportunity is many information, a lot to learn. I remember one time, because I always follow when Wayne speak, I want to learn what else he say and what else I can learn to improve our security in the marketing and contracting opportunity area. So Wayne teased me that I'm a professional stalker. I follow him everywhere, every speak, every organization. If he go to Black business, he go to a veteran business, he go to Latino business, he go to women business. I am there to learn because it's so much information. And every time he speak, it's not the same information. He have more or less here and there. And one thing I learned and appreciate very much is beside NAICS code, California government have a different code called UNSBSC code, and I never heard of it. So Wayne suggests me to know about the code and to find out what business, what area that I can have the code into my business to earn that opportunity. So thank you very much, Wayne, for many years for me to follow you to learn. Do we start with, or do we continue?
Sure, we'll just do one at a time. So
Okay. All right. So Wayne, stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let me find my, okay, where is it? No, it's not there. Okay. Control. Let's try that one. Okay, that's not working. So let's see if I can get it this way. Can you see that?
We see your share screen, yes.
How to do business with the state?
We cannot see your flyer or your slideshow.
You cannot see it yet.
No.
Okay.
You probably have to open it. Do you have two monitors? Maybe you need a,
No, no, I only have one monitor, so let's see what we can do here. Let's see, I'm going to stop sharing just a minute, and let me go back to share. Okay, there's that, and
there you go. Let's see.
yeah, let's see if, how about now?
Yay, you got
Perfect.
it.
yes.
Got it. Okay. So we got to do it this way. Anyway, my name is Wayne Gross. I'm a business outreach liaison with the Department of General Services. I've been doing this job now for 13 years. So I'm the go-to man. If you have questions, there's my email, wayne.d.gross@dgs.ca.gov. And my phone number is 916-230-4417. And I am a firm believer in the only dumb question is the one you don't ask. And normally it's not between the hours of 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. Monday through Friday when I'm at work. It's on a Monday night at 8 o'clock when you're watching Dancing with the Stars with your partner, and that idea comes up. You got my email, you got my phone number, call me, text me, email me. Don't be surprised if you actually get a response. Sometimes it could be a yes or no answer, or I say, please call me tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. It can be that simple. So I've been given 15 minutes to talk about something that I'm very passionate about, and it is about our Small Business and Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise, or DVBE program. We have 3 certifications. I'm going to talk about the benefits. I'm going to talk about registration and certification. and keywords and the United Nations specialty codes and certification questions. So we have, last year we spent 12 billion, that's with a B, $12 billion. And we have two goals. We have a small business goal of 25% and a 3% disabled veteran business enterprise goal. Unfortunately, we did not meet our small business goal. We only did 23.7%. Now, I'm going to throw out two statistics. One is we are the 5th largest economy in the world. So what don't we buy is number one. And number two, the reason we didn't meet our 25% goal, there were two things that are still hanging over our head. The first one is COVID-19, and the other is the fires. So we have two emergencies, and whatever our needs are, we get whoever we can get to fix the problem. With the DVBEs, we did 3.8%. We have exceeded the DVBE goal for the last 9 years. So we have 3 certifications. We have a small business for the purpose of public works, and the disabled veteran business enterprise. Now, we have this expression, it's called KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And that's exactly what this is all about. If you have any of the other certifications, minority, disadvantaged business enterprise, you find out how tedious the application is. Ours is very simple, and you can get certified within 30 minutes. That's how simple this can be. We have 4 requirements. You must be independently owned and operated. You can't be dominant in your field of operation. What that means in English is there's competition out there. You're not the only one that can do whatever you do. This is a California program, and so our principal office is located here in California. And all of the owners or officers in the case of a corporation must be in California. And for a business with 100 or fewer employees, they must have gross annual receipts of 15 million or less, and that's average over the last 3 years. Or if you're a manufacturer, you only have the 100 or fewer employees. Now, 2 years ago, our old governor, Governor Brown, added a public works. And so the first 4 are the same: independently owned and operated, can't be dominant in your field of operation, principal office in California, the owners or officers all have to be domiciled here in California. Now, here's the big one. The business can have 200 or fewer employees and gross annual receipts of 36 million or less averaged over the last 3 tax years. You notice that for a manufacturer, you have to meet both the employee number as well as the gross annual receipts. Okay, now I want to do a real quick sidebar. If you are certified small business and you do public works, you don't have to get the public works certification. You only do that if you are starting to get up to 100 employees or the gross annual receipts start averaging around the 15 million. It is only then do you get the extra public works. Obviously, if you're over the 100 and the 15 million, you go directly to the public works. For disabled veteran business enterprise eligibility, you must be at least 10% service disabled. You have to own at least 51% of the company. And if you're a limited liability company, it must be wholly owned by 1 or more disabled veterans. And this is the big one. Daily operations must be managed and controlled by the disabled veteran. Okay, if you own the company, you better be able to manage and control it on a daily basis. And the home office must be located in the United States. Now, the benefits of certification. You'll have access to contract opportunities. These are the formal solicitations. You will, once you get certified, you get, you create a profile that everyone in the world can look at. And then we have two benefits. One is the small business preference, and the other is the DVBE incentive. So for the small business preference, this must be included in the solicitation. So we have bidder A, who's not certified, and they bid 100,000. Bidder B, who is certified, bids 102. Just with that information, bidder 1, who's not certified and is the lower of the two, okay, should get the bid. But it says that there will be a preference. And so as the administrator, I will take 5% of the lowest non-certified bid. So 5% of 100,000 is 5,000. I subtract that from the 102,000 now on bidder B, and they're now at 97. So bidder B wins at 97. And not only do they win at the win the contract, they win it at the original 102,000. The one thing I haven't mentioned is the certification cost. It's free. So look what you get for free, okay? The other is the DVBE incentive. Here again, it must be, it is written in every solicitation. And so it can be up to 5%. So if you are a service disabled veteran, you can and get qualified for both certifications, get them both, because each solicitation is different. One could have the small business preference, the other could have the DVBE incentive, or they could have both. So you want to make sure that you're getting all of your benefits. So the registration and the certification are done at our website, which is www.caliprocure.ca.gov. And this is what the website looks like. And in the top right is a button that says Login Register. So you go down to the bottom underneath Login, and it says to create, you're going to register as a bidder, new bidder. And there are 5 steps. And then once you get, you fill out the 5 steps, and they ask basic questions. If you can't get it done in 2 minutes, there's something wrong. It's that simple. Anyway, it says you've successfully submitted your registration, okay? And then they give you an email confirming it, and they give you your user ID and a temporary password. And so you go back to Cali Procure, click on the login button, and put in your user ID and your temporary password and log in. And what happens is the system automatically says that your login has expired. And we do that on purpose because we are going to ask you for your last 3 tax years information. You don't want that public access. So you create your own password. It has to be a minimum of 8 digits. And it's your typical 1 uppercase, 1 lowercase, 1 number, and 1 special. And the special is shift and 1 through 0. So then you click that you've changed your password. And so then you log in using your user ID and your new password and log in. And you'll notice at the very bottom, I have here, I forgot my password. I don't know about you, but I have, 5 or 6 passwords that I use depending on what I'm trying to log into. So if you forget it, you click that, it'll ask you for your user ID or your email, and they will send you another temporary one. And then you go in and then update it to a new password. So once you're logged in, it has here no certification record, and you says get started. And so it takes you here, and it has here, before you begin your application for certification, you want to make sure you have all that information, so that once you have all that information, you can get this done, hit submit. And like I said, if you have all that information, and you've answered all the questions correctly, you will get certified. And so here are on the top are PDFs of what we're looking for, the requirements for each type of certification. And you can do, for example, if you want to do small business and DVBE, you can check both of them. Okay. And like I said, if you're small and you're doing public works, just do the small business until you start getting up to that over 100 and over the average of 15 million over the last 3 years. Now, it was mentioned the United Nations Standard Product and Services Codes. It's an 8-digit code, and there are 4 levels. Our system uses level 3 and level 4. You'll notice that level 3 ends in 00, and level 4 is the exact 8-digit code of whatever you're trying to sell. Now, I bring this to your attention because when you first register those 5 pages, they're going to ask you for your UNSPSC codes, and you'll put in a keyword, and hopefully it will come up with level 3 and level 4 codes. On the registration, you want both the level 3 and the level 4 codes, and you want them all, okay? Put them all on there, okay? Now, when you do the online certification, you only want the level 3 codes, okay? We do not want level 4, okay? So if on the registration, you have 4 level 3 codes ending in 00 and 200 level 4 with all the 8 digits, okay? On your California profile, the certification, you only want those 4, okay? Now, if you have any questions, don't you dare call me. And here's why. I'm not a certification officer. You want to contact Kalita Gidcom at 916-375-4924. Again, Kalita, 916-375-4924. She has just as much experience as I do in certification. She's a real sweetie. She will help you, especially when you're answering questions and you really don't understand. Call her, and what she will do is, let's say that's question 4. She'll say, well, how did you answer question 3 or 2, whatever. So she is the lady that you want to talk to. So in review, we talked about the small business DVB programs, the 3 certifications, small business with public works, and the DVBE. The benefits, we talked about the how you can look at all of the solicitations. You can also get the small business preference and or the DVBE incentive. We talked about registrating and then certifying. And then we talked about the UNSPSC codes and then the certification contact, Kalita. So I want to thank you. And I am putting up my email and phone numbers again because I'm giving you an opportunity on either this Friday at 10 o'clock or next Monday at 10 o'clock. I am doing a training session. This is for people who are brand new, getting certified, and those old people who have been doing this for years and years and years and need to update their profile. I'm here to help. I will, all you do is send me an email saying which training session you want. You can do Friday at 10 o'clock, Monday at 10 o'clock, or both of them. Okay, I don't care. You know, it's an hour presentation on your profile. And then I talk about how you can use your certifications with other agencies. And we can talk about our GSA, General Services Administration. That's a federal program. We have our own program called California Multiple Award Schedule. And so if you qualify for that, I can potentially put money in your wallet. You know, I can lead you to the door. I can tell you everything you need to do when you knock on it. But remember, you got to sell yourself. But I'm here to help you in any way, shape, or form. So thank you.
Alrighty, thank you so much for that, Wayne. Super informative presentation on doing business opportunities with the state of California. Really appreciate you sharing that information with us and all of our members and participants who have joined us here today. Before we move on to our next speaker, just wanted to drop a friendly reminder that we will be hosting a Q&A session upon the conclusion of all the presentations by our speakers today. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them into the Q&A box section of our webinar today, and we'll get those answered by our speakers at the end of today's presentation. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Belinda Banuelos. She will be discussing business opportunities with the County of Los Angeles. Belinda works within the Office of Small Businesses in the County of Los Angeles Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. Belinda, we'll go ahead and hand it over to you now.
Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. One second, folks. Okay, and let me see if I can get this to display fully. Okay. Can you guys see the PowerPoint full screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So my name is Belinda Banuelos. I'm with the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs, specifically the Office of Small Business. So in 2016, the Board of Supervisors established a goal to increase utilization of local small businesses countywide. So like Wayne had mentioned earlier with the certification programs, those actually enable most business owners to compete more aggressively if you qualify for them. So it helps support and boost the local economy. And for the County of Los Angeles in 2016, the Board of Supervisors mandated that 25% of LA County contracts would be given to businesses that qualify as local small business enterprises. And 3% of our contracts would also be awarded to certified disabled veteran business enterprises. So those certifications are very important. Now, the County of Los Angeles, we have two types of certification programs. One of the certification programs is called our preference programs. And that consists of our local small business enterprise, our disabled veteran business enterprise, and our social enterprise. The fourth certification we have is called a community business enterprise. That one is not a preference program, and we'll go into the differences in just a moment. So right now we're going to focus on the preference programs. And so the first one we have is the local small business enterprise. We do have a couple of eligibility requirements. For example, you do have to be for-profit. You must be located in the County of Los Angeles and have been in the County of Los Angeles for the last 12 months. And then we do mirror the state of California's definition of a small business. So if you are small business certified by DGS, which is where Wayne works with, so you might want to ask him ask Gita some questions. So if you have the small business certification from the state of California and you are in the County of Los Angeles, then we'll go ahead and approve you as a local small business enterprise. The other certification we'll accept is the Small Business Enterprise Certification from LA County Metro. The benefits to having these certifications is getting paid within 15 days of the county receiving a stamped invoice. And you also get up to a 15% price preference on non-federally funded county solicitations. Most solicitations that are issued by LA County are non-federally funded, meaning they're backed by county dollars. It also allows you, having the certification also allows you to compete in the simplified acquisition process, which just means that it's a simpler way of us government employees to purchase from you vendors. Another eligibility requirement. So we have basically two types of local small business enterprise certifications. So the first one we covered was the non-federally funded. Now for you business owners that are not located within the County of Los Angeles, there is still an opportunity for you to be certified as a local small business enterprise as well. Unfortunately, you will not get to apply that price preference to the non-federally funded county solicitations. You'll be able to apply that price preference to a handful of solicitations, those that are issued by LA County and backed by federal dollars. So you don't get to apply to everything, you just get to apply it to a handful. But there is no geographical restriction. And in this case, you are not required to be certified by DGS. You must be certified by the federal government's System for Award Management as a small business concern. So if you are a small business concern in SAM, then you will qualify for the local small business and be able to apply that price preference to federally funded county solicitations. The next preference program certification we have is the Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise. And for this one, the eligibility requirements are having a certification with another agency. So the two certifications that we'll accept for Disabled Veteran Business is, again, the DGS certification for Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise. Again, that's Wayne. And then the second certification that we will accept is the Service Disabled Veteran-Owned Small Business Certification issued by Veteran Affairs. This one, again, has no geographical restriction. You can be located within LA County, you can be located outside of LA County. The only requirement is that you are a Service Disabled Veteran-Owned Small Business and you have either of those two certifications. Again, you do get to qualify for that 15% price preference on federally and non-federally funded county solicitations, as well as being able to compete and utilize the simplified acquisition process. And then our third preference program certification is Social Enterprise. So this certification is actually the only certification that nonprofit agencies can obtain. So again, all the other preference program certifications, you must be for profit and you must be in business for at least 1 year. The social enterprise is different than that. You can be a nonprofit agency, and the purpose of the social enterprise is for businesses that have been in operation for at least 1 year, providing some sort of transitional jobs or supportive services to a transitional workforce. Basically, your primary purpose is the common good, and it's demonstrated through your mission statement. Nonprofits can be incorporated as benefit or social purpose. If you are certified as a B corporation, not to be confused with a 501c3B, that is different. A B corporation certification by B Labs will automatically qualify you as a social enterprise. Additionally, if you're certified green by a government agency, such as through the California Green Business Network, you will also automatically qualify as a social enterprise. So we do conduct a social impact assessment. So you should ask yourself these 3 questions when you are deciding whether or not to apply for the social enterprise. So what is the primary social mission of your business? We want to know that it's something related to the common good. Maybe you're environmentally friendly. Maybe you provide supportive services. The second question is, how is your social mission integrated into your business model? So we want to know what programs or partnerships your organization offers that are related to accomplishing this social mission. And the last thing you want to know, or that we're going to ask, is what metrics do you provide? So if you say that I house formerly homeless individuals, then we're probably going to want to know, like, what are your statistics? What's the data? How are you capturing and measuring this? Do you have a number of people that you brought in? Do you have a percentage of people who have completed the programs? Information like that. So those are the preference programs. Now, I mentioned this bid preference for these different 3 preference program certifications. So the way the price preference works is, if you're competing on a solicitation, we take the lowest proposed cost, we deduct down to 15%, and that 15% that we have identified, we apply that to only the certified vendors. And what this does is it reduces your bid on paper. So that way, when you put in your solicitation and it's evaluated, the bid will go to the lowest, most responsive and responsible bidder. So as we see here on the PowerPoint presentation, we have our proposers, company 1, 2, and 3. Everybody proposed a price of $165,000. Oh, $165,000 for company 1. Company 2 is $170,000. Company 3 is $185,000. The lowest cost was company 1. So we identify that they have the lowest cost at $165,000. We take that and we calculate and apply. We calculate the 15% and we come out with $24,750. That is 15% of $165,000. But that percentage only gets applied to our certified vendors. So local small business, disabled veteran business enterprise, and social enterprises. This would get applied to you. And it reduces your proposed price. So now the certified bidder, who is company 3, who had the highest price, is now the lowest. So now they're more likely to get that lowest price and win the contract. So the other thing I mentioned was the simplified acquisition process. So the way this works is that all departments in LA County have a delegated authority to award local small businesses, disabled veteran business enterprises, and social enterprises from $5,001 to $24,999. Now, we are required to obtain bids and quotes from a certain number of vendors. However, if you're certified, then we don't need to obtain either as many quotes, or we don't need to post it socially to open it up to a competitive marketplace for everybody. You can just go to the certified vendors. So for example, if a client has a solicitation amount between, let's say if it's $9,000. So if it's $9,000, I can either go to 3 non-certified vendors and obtain 3 quotes, or I can just get a quote from 2 certified vendors and go with the lowest one. So it makes it easier for us end users and departments to purchase from the vendors when you have these certifications. And this is what I mean by it helps you compete more aggressively on a price point, as well as it makes it easier for us to do business with you and you to do business with us. So if you would like to start working with LA County, your first step is registration. So you'll go to this link, you'll click on new registration, and you'll create a bidder profile. If you want to apply for the price preference programs, the 3 that I just mentioned, local small business, disabled veteran, and small business, then you'll need to visit certify.lacounty.gov, click on register, login, and then on the next page, you'll click on create a certification portal account, and you'll be asked to input your vendor information from when you registered, like your vendor ID number, the email address, and phone number you used. Now, there is one certification that I haven't mentioned yet, and this one is not a price preference. This one is our Community Business Enterprise certification. Now, we have 3 different designations that can compete for this specific certification. If you're a minority business enterprise, if you're a woman business enterprise, or a disadvantaged business enterprise. Those 3 categories would qualify for the Community Business Enterprise. Now, the requirements mean if you would like to go for that minority business status, then the company must be owned by US citizens or lawful permanent residents, at least 51% owned and controlled. And then they give you the minority designation. You go ahead and select and submit your information. For the women business enterprise, at least 51% woman owned and operated. And for the disadvantaged business enterprise certification, you must have that disadvantaged business enterprise certification from another agency. It's this certification we accept reciprocity for. We don't actually have you submit information. You're already vetted because you have that certification from another agency. And again, so for the community business enterprise, LA County has a different certification portal. So first step, always register. Register first so you can get your vendor ID number. And then you can go ahead and access the community business application here at avasare.com. You'll have to create an account and then you'll go ahead and submit the application that you would like to apply for. The participation status, again, you can choose from either minority, women-owned, or disadvantaged, or a combination, or all three. So my department also offers more services than just certifications. We have what's known as the Procurement Technical Assistance Center. So if you have questions about contracting with government agencies, once you've obtained these certifications, what do I do? I've registered, what do I do? You can come to us. We can set up a one-on-one counseling session to go over how to contract with government agencies, or just if you have any general questions, or even if you have questions about the certifications themselves. We have a software program called BidMatch, where we can match you up based on your code, your NAICS codes, and your product or service keywords. So you can get solicitations sent directly to your inbox, and it takes a little bit of the legwork out of it for you. Another software we have is GovSpend. So if you're interested in finding out like marketplace pricing, like what other organizations or your competitors are pricing for their products or services, we have a software to check that out too. Another service we offer is the Small Business Concierge, and that's for those of you that are starting up. So if you're just getting started and you need to know about your licensing, your permitting, contact us for the concierge program, and we'll have you set up with a one-on-one counseling session to discuss that material as well. And with that, thank you so much for this presentation. Feel free to email us directly at osb@dcba.lacounty.gov or give us a call. My name is Belinda. You can ask to speak with me directly if you'd like. Thank you so much.
Alrighty, thank you, Belinda, so much for that presentation. Loved how many resources and services that are being offered by the county that can be utilized by our members. And with the introduction of our next speaker, Lynn.
Thank you. Thank you, Belinda. Again, we learned so much. The next speaker is Ronnie Pot. He is a diversity program project manager. And Ronnie is oversee all the span from Southern California Gas Company, because his goal is to help diversity company get a share of the project opportunity. And we are so glad CACP is one of the diversity group that Ronnie favor. And we appreciate all the hard passion that you do to help small business, minority business, learning how to connect, how to work, and how to perform. And Ronnie know everyone in Southern California Gas Company. So once you are in a project, he will make sure he's might not able to hold your hand in every step, but he will call his colleague to continue the support when he's not able to be there to support. So we welcome Ronnie to speak to us and introduce more opportunity with the Southern California Gas Company over. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, CACP. I just want to make sure that everyone can hear me.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. And can you see my screen?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here today to talk to you about how to do business with SoCalGas. I'm very honored to be here. I have to say that CACP is a great organization, and they do fine work. We've had a lot of opportunity to share. They're a passionate group and organization that really cares about their members. And so I'm happy to be a part of this program as well as any of the things that they are doing to help the constituents that are there in their organization. So with that, how to do business with SoCalGas. First of all, let me give you just a little bit of information regarding SoCalGas. We are the nation's largest natural gas distribution utility. We've been in business for nearly 150 years with 21.6 million consumers. We have 5.9 million gas meters. Our service territory covers 20,000 square miles from the northern point of Visalia down to the border of Mexico. That includes 500 plus communities that are served, and we have approximately 8,200 employees. So our commitment is, through our supplier diversity program, it is a core value at SoCalGas. We work with women, minority, disabled veterans, and LGBTEs. We invest time and resources in comprehensive internal and external supplier diversity initiatives. We provide technical assistance and development programs. We form community and business partnerships to extend the reach and recruit of qualified diverse suppliers. And we develop strategies to improve long-term effective programs and spin results. Just since we're talking about spin results very quickly, last year, SoCalGas spent $884.2 million with diverse businesses. That equates to 41.3% of our total procurement dollars for 2020. Doing business with SoCalGas, the first and most important thing is that you must be certified by the California Public Utilities Commission Supplier Clearinghouse. So GO 156 governs the development of programs to increase participation with women, minority, disabled, veteran, and LGBT-owned business enterprises in procurement. The CPUC organizes or oversees the Supplier Clearinghouse. Getting certified with them does not guarantee a contract with SoCalGas, but it does put your information into a database which is utilized by several utilities, telecommunications companies, and energy companies. So in order to do business with us, once you're certified, the next thing that you'll need to do is to visit our website. We ask that you do that so that you understand exactly what it is that SoCalGas does. You should, when you approach SoCalGas, you should understand what our business is, and then you should tailor your approach based on the homework that you've done. You've determined what our business is, what business needs we have, and then you will, through your approach, determine how you meet the needs of the company. What solutions do you provide? So when you visit our website and as well as read our annual report that is located on the company's website, and you can find that at socalgas.com/supplier diversity. And you'll find a copy of the annual report there. And so from that, when you do your research, you'll be looking to see what does SoCalGas buy or use in terms of products or services. And then can you provide solutions for those, either those products or the services. You'll also want to be able to determine what distinguishes your business from others that provide the same products and or services to us. So what is your value proposition? Do you have the necessary experience, licensing, insurance requirements, ISN rating, Golden Shovel or OPQual, operator qualifications, and OSHA safety records that are required or that will be examined and assessed if you are invited to be a part of an RFP. We would suggest that you provide a capability statement that's tailored to meet our needs. So that capability statement should be a one-pager, preferably one-pager, 2 at the most, and it should list detailed information regarding what services you provide, a client base that you've done that for that is comparable to the size of SoCalGas. And if not, then if it's something smaller, like if you're working for some of the smaller municipalities, then you would list that information. Not everyone is going to be able to start off doing business with a major investor-owned utility. So if you work your way up by taking on smaller projects and completing and getting the necessary experience with municipalities, that's probably a great place to start. And then that way you show a track record as well as a client base and experience that you can show that you're ready to move to the next level. There's some additional things that you would want to do in order to do business with us. You want to attend outreach events. Obviously, because of COVID, most of the outreach events that we are participating in at this point are virtual, but we are out there. Rest assured that COVID has not stopped us. We've simply changed the way that we do business. So there are a number of virtual outreach events that SoCalGas is partnering in, this being one of them, but with a number of our community-based organizations, as well as programs that we actually initiate ourselves. And then interact with potential clients. Are there other prime suppliers that you can subcontract with? It may not, your first go may not be a direct contract, but do you have the potential to subcontract with one of our major primes? A good rule of thumb is to make a lasting impression by working on your 30-second pitch. If you meet someone, you should be able to quickly identify and indicate what your business is about and what services and or solutions you can provide. Discuss how your business can add value. And a very important thing is to treat each contact as a potential contract. I can't tell you the number of times, particularly when we were doing face-to-face outreach events, where people would come up to me. I'm sitting at a table in an exhibit hall, and someone would say, "How can I get a contract with the gas company?" Well, that's not really the way to approach, a utility, because the next question is, for me, is, well, what do you do? So you would want to have already done the research. You would want to have done your homework to understand, when you approach the utility, what it is that they do and the type of service or solution that you can provide. You've identified what the business is. You've identified a niche area that you can provide a service, and then that is how you start the conversation. If you're already a member of CACP, wonderful. We would ask that, one of the best things that you can do is join a business association or chambers of commerce or other organizations that provide networking opportunities to get you access to not only the people that are on this call today, but also to other supplier diversity professionals from Edison, from PG&E, from San Diego Gas and Electric, AT&T, and so on and so forth. You want to be persistent, but definitely you have to be patient, because you want to understand that many of the contracts that we have are 3 to 5 year terms. So depending on when you approach us in the cycle, will determine how long, an opportunity may present itself. And so a good rule of thumb in terms of communication regarding where opportunities may lie is to communicate once every month or every other month. If there's normally when suppliers contact me after I make an initial assessment to determine when or where that opportunity may lie, then I'm looking internally to see, where we are in that sourcing cycle. And if there is something that's upcoming, then we're going to obviously have maybe a quicker turnaround in terms of assessing whether or not you are a good fit for the open opportunity. And if not, then we would just ask that you stay in touch maybe once every other month or every quarter, just to keep your business top of mind, so that when an opportunity does come up, oh yes, that's right, I remember I spoke with Lynn Chin, and she has the business Earl Security. And so we are looking, there's an opportunity that I know is, in 6 months down the line. And so, yeah, I want to make sure that I keep her top of mind. So those are the things that you would want to do. Currently, SoCalGas does not have a supplier portal. It's being revamped. So it's under construction at this time. So we don't have a portal to ask you to go to. And the way we conduct sourcing is a little different. A lot of companies will have, kind of an open call, so to speak. And our approach is more targeted. So by connecting with the supplier diversity professional for our company, or if you are in a meeting and you have the opportunity to meet a business unit project manager or an executive, say at the company, then that is another way that you can kind of start the conversation for consideration for potential opportunities in the future. So let me provide my contact information so that you can reach out to me. Again, my name is Rodney Potts, Project Manager for Supplier Diversity. I can be reached at rpotts@socalgas.com. My telephone number is there, 310-678-8776. I do answer my call, and similar to Wayne, if you call me, I will answer. It doesn't matter when, and we will try to connect and look for opportunities for you. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions that were not answered during this small presentation. We'd be more than happy to hear from you. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Lynn.
Thank you very much. Ronnie, we appreciate all this information. I have learned about capability statement and what's that mean from one of the Southern California gas company workshop. And although we all specialize in what we do, but we don't do everything. If someone, what I learned is when someone say, I can do everything, then this person lost their credit with the major company and agency. So I would like to turn over to Thang for our next
Sure.
speaker.
Just want to thank you again, Rodney. We don't hesitate to say that SoCalGas has been a longtime partner of CACP, and we look forward to continuing that relationship in the future. With that, we'll move on to our next topic of discussion. As I mentioned earlier in the presentation, we do have a few CACP members who have stories and experiences that they would like to share in working with the utility companies and with governmental agencies as well. I'd like to bring up our first CACP member, Dorothy B. of Crown Electrical Corp. Dorothy is here to discuss becoming a supplier of public utility companies. Dorothy is also happens to be one of CACP's director. And yes, it's my pleasure to introduce Dorothy.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. It's so honored and happy to be here to share my experience. Actually, my company is not a lot of companies better than me, my company, but we are blessed that we have the chance to work for public agencies and utility company. So right now, I just to share. I want to from 4 points. The first, like the same I said, when I listen to the way Belinda and Rodney, I really did what they required. That's why, first, if we want to work for government or public work, we need to know what they require. So at first, we need to be certified. Just like they required, you need to go to the website or follow what they required. And I upload in the chat room. I upload resources for certification. So people like you can download. And that one is kind of old. I use it for when I apply. I found out some website is not available, is not useful, but I updated the first two. That is effective now. So we can get the certificate no matter from the DGS and or from the CPUC. So for us, if we work for the utility company, we need to get the certificate from CPUC. And how to get the certificate, like we introduced already, we need to provide our financial statement, our payroll tax for 3 years, and also for 4 quarters tax payroll tax payroll report. For last 4 quarters, like DE9C, so we need to submit it. And once we get the certificate, then we can move on the next step. So no matter you want to work for the government or the utility company, we have to have the insurance, is that right? So we need to get the general liability, workers' comp, auto insurance. If we are for gas company, we don't need a bond. But if we work, like I work for the other public government, we need to provide the bond. And when we provide the bond, it's kind of strict because the bonding is a secured job to be finished. If we doing the middle, we run away, the bonding company needs to be complete. So that's why the bonding company, they have a very strict requirement to check our also in the tax return and the payroll records and also financial statements. The financial statements, some bonding company, they require reviewed, and some they need audit. Audit is kind of hard, also expensive. And some they look at our financial strengths. So that's why if we want to work for government, utility company, we need to take care of our business, the financial strengths. And so for the insurance, and I want to emphasize for workers' comp. So when we bid the job, the workers' comp, they have one rating is the EMR. Sometimes when they bid the EMR, you need normally they calculate, evaluate in 3 years. If you're less than 3 years running the business, you are getting the rating 1. And the less, the better. You can get a point. If you running 3 years, they probably you're safely running the construction, or you can get a better rating, like a less than 1. So there's some owner when they they have the pre-qualification, they request that. So when we provide, when we buy the insurance, and when we run in the other job, we be careful the safety. So once we get a certificate and with insurance, and then we need to be safely. So running the business, doing the construction, the most important is safety, is that right? So for gas company, we need to be the member of ISN. The ISN stands for International Suppliers Network. That is they help us to manage the company, the safety. That is for insurance is something happen to protection, but for the ISN is help us to avoid some bad thing happen. They watch us. You have some program, especially in the job site, we need to have the IIPP, like illness, injury illness prevention program. You need when working in the job site, you need wearing the PPE, the personal protection equipment. You need on site all the time. So we need to be careful when they run in the job. Be safe. And after we get we become the member of ISN, and then will be ready to submit our bidding. So normally, like Blenda or way they introduce, they have some calculation. As small business or a minority, we have some certain advantage, but we still need to compatible the price. Is that right? So when we to build the job, we need to training our company be compatible. So when we run the company, I run the company is not only for the quality. We need to provide the good quality product, like a production, construction, and also we in the management and also coordination. Everybody know we're doing the government job. We need a lot of like office backup and a lot of document to get backup. So the management we need to work together. So I always tell my worker and employee, we say we need to be responsible, respectable, and reliable. So when people give us job, they feel confidence. So when we're doing the work, we need to add the value to the project, to add the value to the owner. So when we have the attitude, so you will have the good like procedure to doing our work. And so during the construction, actually I learned a lot from my no matter is government like a Rodney, they give us a lot of help. I want to use this precious chance to give the thanks to SoCal Gas and no matter CACP and my company, they give a lot of support. I really give sincere the thanks. And also they like Brenda and the way they talk to you, you know, the CCP that us as a minority, the small business, we cannot be strong, we cannot be so stable, and no matter no reason to grow. So also, I want to use the chance to give my general contractor. I'm the subcontractor. I'm the electrical contractor. So as the electrical contractor, like as the subcontractor, I suggestion to find the good general contractor. So you can to bond it together, you can grow together. So I give my thanks to my general contractor, the rural construction. Actually, I learned a lot from them also. And we can grow, we can to learn each other, to grow each other. And also when we're doing the work, we need to have passion. We have the passion to do the work. I told my employee, you're happy come to work, and I want you safe and happy go back. So we have the company, we have good like the culture, and then we can grow together. I think, and the reason I have the passion, I think this is my religion has I believe that it works because I really believe that Jesus, Christ Jesus, my Lord, he loved me without condition. And that's why I have passion, I have love, I have responsible to love people, to love the project, to provide the responsible. And that's why I don't know our attendance say, but whether you know him or not, I really experienced how great he is. And I hope the reason I also blessed also if you don't, I want to say, I give the biggest thanks to my God. And I think I introduced so far, and good luck, and God bless you.
Thank you, Dorothy. Great speech. Praise the Lord. In general, we all say that. Thank you for sharing.
Yes,
next
I'll go ahead and introduce. Thank you, Lynn. Just want to thank you again, Dorothy, especially taking the time out of your vacation in paradise to join us for our webinar today. So appreciate that. Our next speaker I'm happy to introduce is our very own co-host, Lynn Chen with Earl Security. Lynn will be discussing her experiences on becoming a supplier with a governmental agency. So I'll go ahead and pass it on to Lynn.
Oh, okay, so we are now running Q&A.
Q&A after.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, thank you. My name is Lin Chen. I am a manager, president, CEO of Earl Security. We are small business. I have the fortune and meeting a lot of good people. And CACP is the first organization that I joined 30 years ago when I started a business, because as a contractor, CACP that say the same language, but because it's all men, there's no female. So it's a little bit challenge. But I learned and I continue learning from different agency and different organization. So the more I learn, the more I know I am limited. I have to learn more and learn how to hear other people's experience, like all our speaker and Dorothy, with all the experience that give me some guidance so I can continue moving forward. But as all business, our team internally, employee, friendship, and teammate is very important. So I can't say I'm successful as most of people, but I appreciate this country. I come from Taiwan, and this country provide an equal opportunity. Diversity go with all different color, gender. So as a minority, Asian, Chinese woman, we do experience a lot of challenge, compete with a white man, good boys network. So we work harder, we continue learn, and we team with a big company as a subcontractor, as a supplier. So I have experience become federal government agency contractor. It's called 8.8. And I'm also currently CACP have a seat at Caltrans, California Department of Transportation. So our organization, CACP, is in every mainstream. Please follow up with CACP program, participate, join us, supporting CACP. It's a group effort. So if you want to grow, you grow with a team. If you want to go far away, you go, you walk with people together, with a partner. By yourself, we run out our exciting, we run out our energy, but with a team, we can continue going. And then from a college student get scholarship, now he's a professional and he's gonna continue his master degree. And he has all the experience working with the county, working with the school, working with different national organization. And we are honored to have you be part of our team. So I appreciate this opportunity for me to speak today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lynn. I really do appreciate that. And I can speak to everything that we've said today. My journey started with CACP, and I know that relationship will continue for a long time. So I wouldn't be here today without CACP. So thank you, Lynn. Thank you, everyone at CACP for that. Before we move on to our Q&A session we have today, just a friendly reminder that this entire webinar is being recorded, and the replay will be available on our YouTube channel, Facebook, as well as the CACP website. So for our participants today, if you would like to view this webinar again, that will be available for you. And with that, let's move on to our Q&A session. So if you have any questions at this time, please again drop it down below in the Q&A box, and we'll have it answered by our speakers today. Can you see the Q&A?
Hi, one of the attendee, he was Chris. He's asking if he can have a copy of some of the slideshow being broadcast today. So we will be reaching out. So feel free to type in your email address and we can send that to you.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Philip.
So luckily, this is a YouTube program, so you can always, with your spare time, or share with your friend, your teammate, continue learning and repeatedly watching. I have an answer from my own question. I am limited in my language, like speaking, writing, or learning. So I have assistant that help me learning this. And as you all know, we, or most of CSCP member, we all come from other part of the country or foreign country. So learning, doing business with public agency can be a challenge. So do not be afraid, follow the website, follow the form, follow the link. And of course, as an owner, we all busy and we are limited, but our staff, our office, our partner, they can share the same thing, because a growing company is not one person, it's a team. So if you feel limited, call CSCP office. If we don't have an answer, we could certainly share our resource with you.
So Lynn, one of the guests, one of the attendee, Mr. Nicholas Lin, he has a question. He asked, to be certified as LSDE, does the owner has to be US citizen?
Lawful or permanent resident?
Let's talk about both.
Yeah, either or. So if you are a US citizen or you're a lawful permanent resident, we'll accept it.
I see.
Did
I
that-
hope that answered your question, Mr. Lin. But feel free to raise your hand. I can put you on speaker if you have any questions.
Also, feel free to contact us. Like Lynn was saying, you know, your partners are not just them, but your partners are your government agency representatives as well. That would be us. So give us a call.
Yes, may I add, Belinda have working with a PTAC, it's a procurement technical support, and they offer one-on-one. So if you reach out to them, you can clear no, because they cannot give you consultation in everything in one meeting. But if you can be specific, what do I need or how do I start? Write it down first, and then you exercise your question. And then when you communicate with them, then they could say, oh, maybe this person is better to work with you, or that department will be better to work with you. So get to know ourselves first.
And remember, it's all free.
Yes, best.
Are there any further questions, Philip, in the chat? Or if anyone would like to raise their hand or?
I do see one hand being raised.
Oh, okay, we have a hand raised by Dorothy.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, or maybe it's a high five. I think that's all the questions we have for today. Thanks a lot for all of this, a very informative event for today. Thank you all for joining.
We would like to ask our audience too, if you have a particular expectation on, this is our part one, how to do business with public agency and utility company. So it's a beginning of journey. If you have any expectation or any thought, suggestion, we would like to hear from you too. So CSCP will have a part two, part three. We will be continue growing with you.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. This will be a series of webinars or conferences. So any input you may have on how we can improve it in the future for your best benefit, please do let us know.
Okay, there's actually another question from one of the attendees, and he asked, company located in OC, could it participate in LA County projects?
Yes, your business location does not matter. You are able to contract with LA County Your only thing you have to do is register. But if you want to get those benefits and those perks, then get certified. Yeah.
Thank you. So
Okay.
are we in closing now?
Yes. So
Okay.
thank you, everyone. Have enjoyed the rest of the day, evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any
Thank
closing
you.
remarks?
Thank
Oh,
you
sorry,
so
Philip.
much.
We do have closing remarks by Lynn.
Okay. So
Oh, I
CSCP,
see.
we have this scholarship program. That's how we find things. So if our member or friends, they have younger generation, they are interested in construction field. We architect, engineer, everything related with construction. We have a great program for the student to come. We have scholarship to help. And if you want to learn, you can volunteer in our different program. And from this, you get to learn your internship
Mhm.
and become a professional. You start from CSCP. So in closing, we appreciate all our speaker and all our participants and all the back support engineer, sound system, Philip and David Tao.
Yes.
Very much appreciate your time and effort put this seminar together. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have a
you.
good rest of
you.
your day. Have a great
Be
rest of your
safe.
week.
Be
Stay
safe.
safe.